What is up, my dudes? Today's episode, we have our week 2 starts and sits. I am joined by Jordan and Seth. Guys, we're going to jump into this right here. Maybe, week 1 was, we got football back, full football. I think we're ready to go. Jordan, we're going to be doing a live on Saturday, maybe Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. Be sure to hit the bell and subscribe button. Make sure you know exactly when we're going live. I'll have some kind of post on Saturday so that you guys will know we're going live on X and YouTube at TFF Dudes. Jordan, you excited about that? Last one went really well.
Yeah, no, it was good. I actually spent I dove into props real early this morning, So Wednesday morning, some of the sites, had props up real early. So I dove in, try to get some good numbers. So we'll see where the numbers shake out on Saturday. But I like where I'm at. Week 1 was just kind of so. I feel good. I feel good about week 2, but week 1 was interesting. It was an interesting football, if I'm being honest. Like I think the unders went 11-3 to the under. So I think the only games that went over was, I know the Baltimore-Buffalo game went over. The Pittsburgh-Jets game went over.
Yeah.
There wasn't a whole lot.
Maybe?
So it was
Colts, but Dolphins didn't do anything.
No, Colts, no. So there's a couple other games that went over. That Vikings Bears game, did that end up going over? That might end up going over. I don't.
It was close. But
I'll be honest, we had 2 of the bigger comebacks in back-to-back days that I can remember. Like the Ravens and the Bills, and then the Vikings and the Bears. Both those teams just collapsed, and it was kind of interesting to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. Bears are already in mid-season form, as some would say. But yeah, join us on Saturday for our live. We're going to have some prop plays. We are going to do some start sits questions if you have them. It's just going to be a fun time hanging out with some of your favorite dudes. If we get enough views, we'll be giving out some of these new free hats, guys. So check that out. Be sure, don't be rude. Share the dudes. Just doing some, pick your player. We did this last year, got some positive feedback. And pick your players brought to you by Trophy Smack, guys. Remember, it's not too late to pick that last place trophy or first place trophy. Head over to trophysmack.com/dudes. 15% off your whole entire order. All right, so pick your player, guys. First one I got here, I have Bo Nix or J.J. McCarthy. Bo Nix is playing versus the Colts. J.J. McCarthy's playing against the Atlanta Falcons in that, playoff game champion, that college playoff game rematch versus Penix. So a little bit of a college rematch there a little bit, but we got Colts and Vikings, and we got Colts and Broncos, Vikings and Falcons. So which quarterback you taking out of those? Who's going to have a better matchup? Who's going to have a better performance?
I lean Bo Nix just because of the history, good fantasy quarterback last year. J.J. McCarthy looked in his first game, so I'm going to go Bo Nix. Even though Indy did have a great game against Miami, I'm going to go Bo Nix.
I mean, the issue is that Bo Nix looked about as bad as possible on Sunday. So,
look bad, but
I watched that whole entire game, pretty much the whole entire game, and they look bad. But then, J.J. McCarthy looked really bad for about 2.5 quarters, and then kind of figured it out. Oh, gosh. I'm just going to lean on my priors and say Bo Nix. But, I mean, it's week 2. I don't want to overreact too much.
This is near your heart, Jordan, because you have Bo Nix is your starting QB in the league I'm in with you.
No, that's true. But also, I thought that both Bo Nix and J.J. McCarthy weren't going to be good quarterbacks. And Bo Nix kind of proved me wrong. And but then week 1 is okay, well, maybe I was right originally. So I don't know, maybe he's sun run year 1 and is going to have a year 2 regression like CJ Stroud, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to lean Bo Nix. It's a long-winded way of saying I still lean Bo Nix.
I'm going J.J. McCarthy here. I still think
shocker.
I think Kevin O'Connell's the guy, QB coach. He pulled them together at halftime. Jordan was blowing up the phone, guys. It was my wife's birthday. I was at birthday dinner. Couldn't watch the first half, but Jordan's just blowing me up hey, guys, J.J. McCarthy's is horrible, just like we all knew. And I'm just like, Trent, keep your cool. You're not watching the game. Here's one thing football will teach you. There's a lot of game left, and it's not too late. And the fat lady hadn't sung.
Well,
So I got there, turned on the second half, and I said, you know what, Jordan, but JJ McCarthy looks pretty good to me.
Am I crazy, or he did throw the pick six in the second half, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he
turned it
did.
on.
I don't remember.
I think I turned it on right after that. And I think he did a touchdown drive. The first drive I saw, so I missed more than just one half.
Yeah, because he
Well,
threw the pick six after halftime.
Yeah. So he looked, yeah, the long TD run. He's just got to give Justin Jefferson the ball more. And they ran the ball good. So anyways, I'm going to stay in the flames with McCarthy, guys. I got too much on the line. And just looking back at last week's QB, it was Drake May versus Brock Purdy. I think me and Jordan both went Brock Purdy. Running backs was Breece Hall versus O'Marion Hampton. We both took Hall. And then Tet McMillan versus Emeka Ibuka. Jordan, you took Tet. I took Emeka, though. But going over to the running backs, we got Javonte Williams or Travion Henderson. Travion Henderson's playing the Dolphins. Javonte Williams is playing the Jets. What are you thinking here, Jordan? Sorry, Giants, my bad.
I really like Travion in this spot. I think there was a lot of positive coach speak towards Travion. Like Vrabel talked about like being more efficient in the run game, and like Travion was so much more efficient than Ramondre. So, and I think it's a pretty good spot against the Dolphins. So I like Travion in this spot. I'm trying to buy on Travion early because I think the switch between Ramondre and Travion is going to happen sooner than later.
Seth, what are you thinking?
I'll go with Travion here as well because, why am I blank? Jonathan Taylor, JT had a good game last week. That's where I'll go. I think Javonte could eat on the Giants here. I just think the Cowboys offense is too good in the air to where I think they're still going to throw the ball a lot.
I'm going Javonte. I like both, though. And my apologies to everybody. I normally put polls on these on X. I only did one poll. X was so crazy today with all the news that I just didn't think anything was really going to happen with these polls. So I didn't put them out there like I normally do. I did do the QB one. It was about 51% in Bo Nix's favor, but that's where I left it there. Wide receivers. I think this one's really hard for you, Jordan. I get Hollywood Brown versus the Eagles or Jamison Williams versus the Bears. These are like two of your guys, Jordan. Like, what are you thinking here? Like, Hollywood is the number one right now. I don't. Worthy might play. Is he day to day right now?
I would be shocked. I'd be shocked if he plays. But I mean,
yeah.
So
I'm gonna go Hollywood. I think, even though I like that game and the environment for that game in Detroit with Chicago and Detroit, I think we get a lot of points there. But I'm gonna go Hollywood, and I think in a PPR it's Hollywood. In a like a non PPR half point, I think Jameson becomes more in play. But in a PPR, I think it's for sure Hollywood. He might get peppered and have like 5 catches or like 8 catches for like 55 yards against the Eagles but it might be where James is just a big play waiting to happen, especially at home. So it's close though. I lean Hollywood.
I'm going JMO here. I think it's easy for me to say 70-yard touchdown this week.
Okay,
7-0.
right. Okay. I'm in a predicament, Jordan, because I have both of these guys on my roster. So I'm really I'm kind of leaning Hollywood.
So do I in a league too.
Yeah.
Dynasty League I do too.
Yeah, so I have them both in a redraft, and I'm like, man, who do I play here? And they're both ranked very similarly on PFF. They're both in that same spot. So, like, last week, if you would have asked me for week 2, who do you want to play, it was slam dunk, JMO. But right now, it's not as easy. We have the Worthy injury, and Hollywood actually looked really good against the Chargers, too. And you got Kelsey, who's a shell of himself, no Worthy. Like, Hollywood Brown might be the main guy. So that is who we have for pick your player. Guys, this was our first year in a chop league on Sleeper. And it's not too late to do a chop league right now. I believe you can still go draft over to sleeper and go ahead. They got some good plays. You can do the sleeper picks there. Promo code dudes100. They'll match up to $100, guys. And we'll be doing a lot of those plays on Saturday as well. What's your first thoughts of the chop league, guys? I've wanted to do this for a long time. I think it's fun. I was not shocked that Nico Collins went for full fab. Someone put all 1,000 fab in there. Like, if you were that low score guy, you don't want to be the guy who gets chopped and put no money down. But the chit chat in our listener league is what, Seth?
You didn't have to put all of that fab to get him, though.
What was the next second guy? Like, I don't blame the second lowest score going all in to like buy another week.
Yeah, but I mean, then at what point, you will get nobody else. You will get absolutely zilch.
Yeah, he literally can't get anybody else. So,
yeah,
I don't know. I talked to somebody else who's in one. They're in a 22-man chop league.
Okay.
And which I'm not
Is
sure
that
how
two a
that
week?
exactly. I don't know.
Bottom two.
Yeah. At least maybe for the first couple of weeks is bottom two. But they said that Justin Jefferson went for $500.
Okay. Well,
so
I was wondering, if Jamar Chase was his team almost made it. I was tempted, if Jamar Chase was there, it might be worth going all 1,000. If Nico Collins went for 1,000, Jamar Chase would have won 1,000 on as well.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's an interesting concept. I like it.
Yeah, the waivers are very interesting. So you just got to survive, until there's someone you really like, I think.
Yeah. So that's the first thing on the chop there. Seth, let's go over to our starts and sits. You want to take it from here?
Yeah, let's Jordan, let's start with your start of the week.
Yeah, so I mentioned I kind of like this game environment between the Lions and the Bears. We got Ben Johnson returned to Detroit in a dome. Game is the third highest total of the week. So at Rome Odunze as a start. I thought Rome looked pretty decent on Monday night. I think Caleb missed him a couple times down the field. I know there was one little play on the sideline that Rome got his hands on, couldn't quite come down with the catch. You got that touchdown down late in the goal line. He led the team in targets with 8, and he led the team in snaps at 94% from the wide receiver position. So, like I said, the Bears struggled offensively, but I think we get a pretty good bounce back spot here with Ben Johnson returning to Detroit, and Detroit struggled, week 1. So I think it's a good little bounce back spot for both teams. Wasn't overly impressed with either defense in week 1. So, yeah, the Lions. But the one thing the Lions did do is they did stop the run. And I thought the Bears struggled pretty mightily to run the ball on Monday Night Football. So I think we see the Bears throw the ball quite a bit. In week 1, the Lions were 10th in run defense compared to 21st in coverage, according to PFF. So I think the Bears are going to throw. And I think Rome has a really good. I was high on Rome. I think Rome's going to have a big year. And so I think we get a good Rome week this week.
Yeah, Rome looked good. He got 1 touchdown. You said that, I believe. DJ Moore
8 targets.
Yeah, DJ Moore was right there too. Just looking at your top 3 guys in targets, it went Hollywood Brown with 14, Drake London with 14, Jackson Smith and Njigba with 13, and Olave and Lamb both had 13 as well. I did not think Hollywood Brown or Jackson Smith and Njigba would be up there with targets like that. London kind of makes sense. I don't hate it, Jordan, but I'm kind of like, as much as I make fun of Caleb Williams, I have a lot of Caleb Williams draft stock, and I was happy with how he looked. Had a solid fantasy game. I didn't see the first half live. I did watch some highlights and stuff.
Well, I mean, the first half, he looked real good. I think what unlocks his fantasy upside, if he's going to use his legs like that, then it just kind of gives you a really solid floor. So,
yeah. So ran a lot, had a rushing TD. So they were, what was it? I think there was only 5 TDs rushing, 5 quarterbacks that had rushing TDs this week. And 3 of those guys had 2. So I think the guys with 2 was Hurts, and I can't remember the other ones.
Fields,
I tweeted it.
Fields and Daniel Jones.
Yeah. So no Jaden Daniels, but yeah, that was an argument a guy made about why the passing touchdowns are down so far. Cause I brought that up last year. Passing TDs are down this year as well. Seth, what do we have next here? Unless you have something else there, you want to
No, Trent,
ping
you
pong
can go
off
to your
Jordan.
start here. Kind of coincides with one of our pick your players earlier, but Trent, go
Yeah.
ahead.
So I didn't
Cowboys
jump into
fan.
it. I didn't jump into it too much, but I have Javonte Williams, and I thought he looked, so Javonte Williams is currently ranked running back 21 on PFF right now, but I think there's some real upside this week against the Giants, especially what I saw last week versus the Eagles. New York's run defense just gave up 100 rushing yards, and Dallas, they kind of said it all offseason. We said the last couple of weeks, they want to establish the run. I think they're going to run the ball a lot. When they get there to the red zone, Javonte, I think, is going to be the guy who gets the ball. And I wouldn't be surprised if he has another 2 TD performance here. I am slightly worried if Blue plays. I think Blue maybe gets a little bit more involved. I just think he's a little bit more electric than like Miles Sanders. And Miles Sanders, I think, might be a little bit in the doghouse after that fumble, but I liked how the Cowboys running the ball. Now, we did have Carter out of the game, which could be a big deal. Part of the reason why Dallas ran the ball so efficiently, but I'm more worried about the Giants' pass rush, I think, than their run ability to stop the run. They weren't too impressive last week against the Commanders. So I'm going with Javonte Williams. I think you can fire him up again. And I thought 21st on PFF just still seemed a little bit low. Do you kind of feel like that's a good spot for him, guys? Like, I feel like he's kind of gets the goal line carries, and I do think they want to run the ball. And it's the Giants. I don't know.
I don't know. You're a lot higher on Javonte than I am. I don't
So
know.
you weren't impressed after the Thursday night game, Jordan?
I just think that I think the Jalen Carter injury was huge. I think that opened up a big it just changed not an injury. I don't know why we're saying injury. The guy was an idiot, got suspended for spitting on someone. He didn't get injured.
It really is. It is stupid. And I almost thought they could have maybe went a second game, but he did sit out technically the whole game. So
the whole game.
Get
so
that.
No, Jalen Carter going out of that game though, I think really kind of affected the Cowboys' ability to run. I don't know. I understand what you're saying. He's definitely the workhorse. He's going to be the RB1 there. The volume's going to be there. But I just think I think the Giants defense is a little bit better than what you think it is. I think that Washington team is just really good at running the football. And I don't know. I don't like it as much as you like it. I'll just say that.
All right. And our start sit sleepers last week, we were 62% right. Darnell Mooney did not play, so that was a push there. But we got Ricky Pearsall, Ted McMillan, Jerome Ford, Broncos, and Cardinals. Right? We got the survivor picks on there as well. Seth, you in on the Javonte train, or you more of like the Cowboys got lucky? Someone decided to spit on someone.
I think Jordan has a point saying that the Giants defense might be better than what we think it is, but I think there's a real world where Javonte gets 2 more rushing touchdowns this week. I think it's definitely possible.
All right.
Go ahead.
I haven't talked to you guys about this. What's your guys' take? I'm trying to temper my expectations. Do you guys actually think that Dallas looked okay? I felt like what they did with Barkley wasn't terrible. They gave up 2 rushing touchdowns to Hurts, but I felt like the defense, I thought they played well. Held AJ Brown to 1 reception.
I thought the defense looked bad, but I think the offense and the defense is going to be bad. DeRon Bland's going to be out for a couple of weeks. I don't know if you saw that. But,
I saw that. Yeah.
So, I think, though, is that with their offense. I was kind of impressed with their offense. I thought Dak looked really good. And, I know it didn't fantasy-wise, it didn't turn out well, but, if
drop TDs.
Yeah, if Jake Ferguson holds on to that ball in the end zone, there's a touchdown there. If CD just catches the ball,
if Miles Sanders isn't fumble.
Yeah, but that wouldn't have been a passing touchdown. I guess I thought
that'd have been a field goal.
Yeah, I just thought Dak looked better, than what kind of the fantasy result showed. And if CD catches those balls, we're looking at probably almost 260 yards and at least 1 touchdown. So I think Dak is going to, I am more on the Cowboys passing offense than the Cowboys rushing offense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not disagreeing there, but what did Barkley have rushing? I can't remember his rushing yards, but I thought it was fine. I thought giving up 24 points to the Eagles. and it was more of like Hurts beating them with their legs. I was pleasantly surprised, and maybe offensively might be more accurate how you said it, Jordan. But I thought that game might be like 31-42 or something. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't think it was be 24-21. But these first couple weeks, I think partly due to preseason being shortened, guys not playing, the offenses just take longer to click than what they used to. Because it was 2021, I think there were 60 TD passes thrown. And in this past week, what was the total TD? I have the stat right here. Let me just pull it up. So I'm going to do a YouTube short on this. But okay, 2021, Brady's last year in the league, there were 61 TD passes thrown in the NFL week 1. This year, there were 32. And one guy said maybe that has to do with quarterbacks rushing more. So then I dug a little deeper there. And in week 1 in 2021, there was 1 QB rushing touchdown by Kyler Murray. This year, there were 8 total QB rushing touchdowns. But still, that doesn't make it enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not even half, right? So, or not half, but like, it's still quite a bit lower. It's still like about 20 TDs less than what we did in 2021.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Why do you think that is, Jordan? You think it's preseason?
I think I'd be curious what the stat is the amount of field goals kicked in week 1 of 2021 compared to the amount of field goals kicked in week 1 of 2025.
Maybe.
I think teams are being really conservative. These field goal kickers are so good now. It does feel like teams are more content to settle for field goals than they ever have been. And like these kickers are kicking. What was the? Why 60. Am I blanking on what? Yeah, but who kicked the 60-yarder on a fire drill? What kicker was that?
That was Butker. Was it Butker on the fire drill?
Yeah, it was Butker. Yeah, literally like ran out there with 15 seconds, like, and just nails a 60-yarder. It's just like, I don't know if you guys saw that Pat McAfee said there's a new kicking ball, and this new kicking ball adds about 10 yards.
I didn't know that. I don't like that.
Put the air to you how you want it on the ball.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
And you 10 can yards work it in too.
Yeah, so see, I don't, everybody got mad about Brady deflating the footballs. I don't think kickers should be able to lower their footballs.
Yeah.
I don't know if maybe it's a certain air pressure, but I think there's something to be said because the NFL used to work in the kicking footballs. Like, I don't know if they kick them or what they do, but they said now the team can work in their own kicking balls.
Yeah.
So you just rotate it in, right before.
Yeah. So, and that means the kicker's used to that ball, probably is what it is.
Yeah. Our kicker in high school always tried to do that. And sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. Like he always had like the football that he liked more than the other ones. But I feel like there should be, I don't know. It's kind of I didn't realize that they just added that. So, all right. What do we have? What do we got next, Seth?
Let's go over to sits, Trent, and we'll start with you. I like this one a lot.
You really do? Really? Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm breaking your heart, Seth.
No, I feel like this is just, I've been shouting this from the rooftops, but go ahead.
Yeah, I got Kenneth Walker at Pittsburgh. Now, last week, Breece Hall had some success versus the Steelers, but he had 19 carries in that game. I don't think Kenneth Walker is going to get 19 carries. I also don't really see Seattle having success on the ground, but the biggest concern is snap distribution we saw last week. Walker got 10 carries while Charbonnet got 12 carries and Charbonnet had 58% of the snaps. So that's not really the workload split you want to see from your starting running back. And that's where I'm kind of like, the Steelers defense is good. I don't think that they're going to go as crazy, like I said, like the Jets did with Breece Hall, but small sample size. But Pittsburgh is the 10th worst defense for opposing running backs. So I'm sitting Walker. I just think this is more of a Charbonnet game. Charbonnet looked better than Walker last week. Jordan, you said some stuff about Charbonnet. I put a little YouTube short on it, and some guys were kind of going after you about, how good Walker is and how Charbonnet is not going to take the pass catching role. But I don't know. I might need to go back to that and correct them. But there's nothing worse than the week 1 victory lap either, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a long season, make that victory lap.
Yeah.
You gotta keep it going. But you guys aren't as worried about the Steelers defense as I am. But the total in this game, it's probably a decent line. It's 40 points. Pittsburgh is favored by 3. So I'm gonna be watching this
Yeah,
game because I want
so
Jackson. What, Jordan?
well, I was just gonna say like Charbonnet outsnapped Walker 30 snaps to 21. He outcarried him 12-10, but he was way more efficient on the ground, 12-47 and a touchdown. They might be right about the Walker kind of holding that pass catching role, but Charbonnet looked a lot better. I think Walker's hurt. I mean, he looked hurt. I don't know how much you got that game you guys watched. I had that on the TV, on a separate TV the whole entire time. So yeah, he looked pretty hurt to me. He doesn't look right. Charbonnet looked like a lot more explosive.
Yeah. Well, Seth, were you just rocking out with your JSN jersey on? Like all those targets, so many targets.
No, I know JSN's going to be great this year. Cooper Kupp got absolutely nothing, which is kind of crazy to think about. But it's just, I think the whole offense in the passing game is all schemed to get JSN open. I think he's being kind of featured. I'm not saying he's at the Justin Jefferson caliber or role yet, but that's what it's starting to seem like is the whole offense runs routes to make him open, if that makes sense.
Well, you guys saw, I mean, Sam Darnold had 150 passing yards and JSN had 124 of that. Like,
Yeah.
that's absurd.
Yeah, 57% of the targets. Or
no,
wait,
no, more than he had 13 of 22. So yeah, what is that? 57?
Yeah.
Is that the
7%
math there?
of the targets. Yeah. I don't think it's sustainable, but
But I also don't think it's going away. Like, I don't think the target share is going away. Maybe not 50%, but like he might have a 35-40% target share like all year. I'd be curious what the highest target share ever was, but he's gonna have a huge target share.
Yeah. All right. What do we have next, Seth?
Jordan, let's go to your running back sit. Another running back.
Yeah, I got Aaron Jones. I think it's kind of similar to Trent said with Kenneth Walker. Like, Aaron Jones looked bad to me. Like, he looked old. He got out snapped and out carried by Jordan Mason on Monday night. To me, Mason looked clearly the better back. He looked way more explosive, way more fresher. And I just think he gets that job even more going forward. Jones is going to be the pass catching back. I get that. But I wouldn't be surprised if Mason eats in that a little bit too. I just think as the year goes on, the more and more we're going to get of Jordan Mason. And that might start like, I think it started in the second half of week 1. Like, Jordan Mason had 15 carries. Aaron Jones had 8 carries. It's just not like, and Mason looked so much better. And especially in that second half, I think Mason was one of the reasons the Vikings got back in that game. He started ripping off more explosive runs. So I think they had to respect the running game a little bit more. So I don't like Aaron Jones at all. I think it's going to be Mason's team going forward, and I want no part of Aaron Jones going forward.
Did they just pay Aaron Jones? Or sorry, they just brought in. They kind of just paid both of them because they just brought in Mason and they just paid. I thought they just re-signed Aaron Jones. I'm not sure, but I
don't think that.
From what I saw from watching that game, I thought Mason looked great. Looked really good.
Yeah, he looked really, really good. Like, I thought, I mean, and he was really good last year in San Francisco. So I'm trying to pull up Aaron Jones' contract here. He signed an extension sometime. He signed an extension. You were right, Trent. And looks like in 2025, he signed an extension.
Yeah, so I think they have both of them, but it's just kind of you paid both of them. So you kind of use both of them. But yeah, he looked a lot better than Aaron Jones. So, and I don't know if that's a scheme thing of what they saw or how that worked. But all right, what we got next, Seth?
Jordan, let's go to your sleeper first. The Boutte.
Yeah, I got a Keyshawn Boutte as a sleeper here. I see him ranked in the low 50s at wide receiver in some places. To me, Boutte was the clear number 1 wide receiver in New England. I don't know exactly what that means to people, but he's that guy. He ran 82% snap. He had 82% snap share. He ran the most routes, had the most targets. He had 6 catches for 103 yards, had an 8 out of 17 yards. Gets a Miami secondary, who PFF had as a 6th worst coverage. coverage grade on them, and that Miami is the worst defense overall. So I think he's a really good flyer in a deep league or in a situation where maybe you have a Worthy or something and you need a receiver. I like Butte. I thought he was always really talented at LSU. Really, really talented. He's always been a talented guy. I think that talent might be starting to shine through a little bit. And obviously the Pats like him. Like, that's no fluke. Like, it'd be one thing if he had the numbers and then was like on a 50% snap share, like he had like 5 catches for 100 yards on 5 targets. But no, like, he was their leading receiver. Like, he looks like he's their number one guy who they want to be their number one guy. So, I mean, he way outsnapped Diggs. DeMario Douglas had the next highest snap share with 63%. So I like Butte a lot this week in this matchup.
Yeah. So looking at this, he got the same amount of targets as Diggs, but his targets per route run, Diggs was 19%, Butte was 18%, but he ran more routes than Diggs. Diggs ran 37 routes, Butte ran 44. Yeah, so he outsnapped him. Yeah.
I mean, by a lot. Like, I mean, it wasn't.
And the air yards too. Yeah, he had 139 air yards and Diggs had 57. So
a 17 ADOT on 8 targets, that's a legit like number. Like, that's a pretty decent. It's not like he had 3 targets, like 8 targets, 8 like on a 17 ADOT. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So no, for full discrepancy, Jordan did not bring this up, but I actually had the same start as Jordan and sleeper as Jordan. So I did let him have those, but it might work out. I do really like Jordan's. Like, how awesome it would have been if I had just argued those with you, Jordan, after I had them on there this morning. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, you were a little down on Odunze when I talked about Odunze, so it kind of threw me off a little bit.
Yeah, but I was between Odunze and I was kind of between DJ Moore. But I just feel like I'm always pumping DJ Moore's tires. So like,
yeah, you're definitely a DJ Moore guy.
Yeah, there was those, there was that ball he should have caught there in the 4th quarter. Not really. It was way out of bounds, but he was wide open. But anyways, what I have here, where are we at, Seth? We're on sleepers. I feel really weird throwing this sleeper out here, but watching, this game on Friday, I really think the Chargers offense, like I'm feeling like they're almost like throwing. Maybe it's because they couldn't run quite as well as they wanted to, but I got Keenan Allen versus the Chiefs. Sorry, he played the Chiefs. They're playing the Raiders. But versus the Chiefs, Keenan Allen commanded 29% of the targets. The only 3 pass catchers for the Chargers had 2 targets. That was Keenan Allen, Ladd McConkey, and Quentin Johnson. I just think that's a really concentrated target tree. But I like Allen. I think they're going to go to Allen when they need to play. Justin Herbert trusts him. He's played with him more than he's played with Quentin Johnson or Ladd McConkey. The chemistry's already there. So last week he had 10 targets, 68 yards. And I think the volume will continue to be there. So I still think this target share stays strong. And I'm kind of excited for this matchup. You got Harbaugh versus Carroll. This is an old rivalry back from the NFC West. Now they're on new teams in the AFC West. So I'm excited for this matchup. And I think Keenan Allen could have a really good game here. Like, Jordan, I don't think you were super impressed with the Patriots last week. I was disappointed with how Drake May played. Do you think the Raiders actually look okay with Pete Carroll, like that defense? Like, I think Herbert finds a way to get this done with Harbaugh, and I could see him having a decent game passing. He looked really good versus the Chargers. If that wasn't a Friday night game, I think we're all talking a lot more about Justin Herbert. But when you play on Friday, you forget, it kind of gets smothered by the Sunday games.
I'll be honest. I like this matchup a lot for the Chargers. I don't think the Raiders are very good. I don't think the Patriots are very good. But my worry is that they just run the ball a lot against this Raiders team. So
I thought they were going to do that last week.
But but that Chiefs defense is just a little different. You're on a different country. It's just a little bit different. Herbert kind of got going, and I don't know. And I think we can see a little more Najee Harris. Looks like that's going to get bumped a little bit every week. So I don't know. That's my one concern with Keenan Allen. But yeah, I think it's fine.
Okay. That is our start. Oh, survivor pick. Jordan, I'm going to go with Dallas as my survivor pick.
I think it's fine.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm not looking at the long run. I'm just like trying to stay alive one game at a time. So I'm gonna go Dallas here versus the Giants.
I'm going Ravens. Like, I'll be honest, the Ravens, obviously they're going to be favored a lot in games, but if you look at their schedule, it's not like they have like an overwhelming, like there's another game where they're going to be overwhelming favorites, at least in the next few weeks, So I'm going to take the Ravens like a 12.5 point favorite, 11.5 point favorite, depending on where you look against the Browns. So I'm just going to go easy. I'm taking the chalk. I know they're going to be popular, but like, I think there's some people who like try to save the Ravens for later on, and maybe pick somebody else. So I'm just going to take the Ravens. I can't see them losing to the Browns at home after what just happened in Buffalo. So I'm going to eat the chalk with the Ravens.
Yeah. That's what I'm worried about is I'm going to save these teams and I won't get to the point where I'm like, man, it'd been nice to play
Yeah.
the Ravens in week 12.
And like, I know
And
the pool that you and I are in, it's large, but it's not like really large, Like if we were in like a super large pool with like a couple thousand people or 1,500, like I think I would try to go different than the Ravens. But like we're in a pool of what, like 600 people? I think that's what it probably is now, is about 600 people.
yeah.
So medium size, So I'm gonna
What
go. I'm just gonna stick with the Ravens on both my entries.
and what about what a total nightmare running that survivor pool. Absolute nightmare. Like getting the text messages, getting the emails, keeping the Google Doc spreadsheet that he does, like it's not a fun thing to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But more power to the guy. I appreciate it. Um, Other than that, biggest, I don't know. I'm just looking at this top 10 QB finish from week 1. There's some names in here I did not was totally surprised to see in here. Like, who surprised you the most between these guys? If I said like, 6 months ago, this guy's going to have a top 10 fantasy football or a top 10 week 1 fantasy finish. Who would surprise you more, Daniel Jones or Aaron Rodgers? I think I gotta go with Daniel Jones finishing his QB3 last week.
I agree.
Not
Aaron Rodgers'
Rodgers.
4 TD performance though was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
he looked
close.
really
I
good.
think I go Rodgers, honestly. More
Over
surprising.
Daniel Jones. Okay. Because Daniel Jones didn't even play last year, right? He was a backup for the Vikings. So
Yeah, but Rodgers looked awful.
he looked awful, but he was a starting quarterback still in the NFL. But all right. So here, let's jump into our 3 favorite matchups of the week. I put some of these in here. You guys can tell me what you think of these. Highest total, Jordan. We got Jags and Bengals. That kind of surprised me a little bit. Are you still seeing that? I looked at PFF.
No,
Cat
it's
fight, you
it's
could say.
yeah, it's for
Exactly.
sure. It's the highest total for sure.
So the game I'm most excited about? I think I'm Bears at Lions. I'm excited to see Ben Johnson go back to Detroit. Detroit did not look good without Ben Johnson. I think Ben Johnson goes in there and this is like, like daddy's home. Like this is straight BTC. And for those of you who don't know what that means belt to cheeks. So I think Ben Johnson just goes off on these guys. I think, like you said, Jordan, that's why I think Roma Dunze goes off. That's why I think DJ Moore. I think he really I think Caleb Williams has a big game here. Lions look lost, but it was against the Packers, and that defense is really, really good. So I don't know if we got a fair representation of it, but Jared Goff has never won a football game without Sean McVay or Ben Johnson calling plays for him. So Lions did not look good. And I know we're somewhat of a Lions pod, but that's what's making me not want to play JMO. JMO got paid on Saturday night. We thought he was going to go nuclear, and it just wasn't. What are we doing with David Montgomery? Like Montgomery, Gibbs saved you because he caught 10 passes, I think. Like outside of that, Gibbs did nothing. Like we need Sonic and Knuckles to come back. Like I don't know what we got to do here, but I really want more out of Gibbs. So is that kind of the game you're looking to? Like what are the games you guys got circled here? Those are 2 that
it's those 2. It's those 2, and then it's mostly those 2, to be honest. It's the Lions and the Bears and the Jags and the Bengals. I think it's gonna be a really good game. Let's see here. I think Man,
I
there's
want
not
to
a
see
whole.
Penix. I want to see Penix play again, and I want to see JJ McCarthy. Like I'm excited for that
Oh, I think
matchup. So
the Eagles and Chiefs is gonna. That's an interesting
yeah,
one.
yeah.
It's really close spread, so I don't know. We'll see how that one goes.
And we got a double header on Monday night. This is just my yearly reminder that the NFL needs to get rid of Thursday night football and do 2 Monday night games every single week. I know I get a lot of hate on this, but I will tweet this on Monday. I'll
But
get a lot of that. The percentage was close last year in the poll, Jordan, but I'm going to
Trent, why
keep
can't it
pounding
be
the drum
both? I don't understand why you're anti both. Why can't we just have both?
because the reason I'm against both is I think it's just a little bit better play when it's Monday than Thursday. The Thursday games generally are a little sloppier. And there's nothing wrong with me wanting more football, making the people look forward to more football. It is something where like you could oversaturate it, I'm afraid of. So it's okay to be like, man, I wish we had football tonight. Like give Thursday to them action. You know what I'm saying? Like
No,
I
that's what
just don't.
Tuesdays and Wednesdays are for. Tuesdays and
Okay.
Wednesdays are for the
Yeah,
action.
yeah, yeah. But what I'm saying is do the Thursday, like there's nothing wrong with us wanting more of it. And like how many times we watch Thursday night football and it's like, man, we got Jags and Titans. This was an awful game, or we got Jets and
I'll be honest,
whatever.
Trent. I never
You
feel
like
like
those?
that. I love football. I
You
want football. Like I will sit there
I
and watch any type of football. Like I don't
I would
care.
rather
Like
a really good Monday night game though than just a subpar Thursday game. Like I don't know why you can't do 2 Mondays.
I don't
Like
know why
and
we can't have it
for
all.
the whole player safety thing, it makes sense to take Thursday off to give guys a longer week. You can't say you're pro player safety then like, hey, we're gonna do Thursday games. Like that extra day, those short weeks are tough, even though you get the long back end. But Seth, what game are you looking forward to here? Like, I know you're like Seth likes the Vikings for all the wrong reasons, but Seth, what are you looking forward to here?
Actually, my actual favorite games, yes, I was gonna say the Bears and the Lions. That's game I'm looking forward to just because of the nuance behind the game. But then the Jags and Bengals, like always, the highest total game is a game I'm interested in. Like I think everyone loves watching shootout football games, right? I think if someone had to choose between a defensive football game and a straight shootout football game, I think most people would choose the shootout. So, and especially when you have a lot of players, like I have a lot of players across a bunch of leagues in these games that I said. So I think those are also why they interest me more. Um, Falcons and Vikings, which is another game you have up, Trent. I think that's going to be a good one as well. You get to see two new quarterbacks, relatively new quarterbacks, going at it, and I think there could be a potential good game there.
Yeah, and there's nothing like more Monday Night Football than Raiders on Monday Night Football. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I've been to 2 Monday Night Football games at Raiders Stadium, the old Oakland Coliseum, that I just always associate them with Monday Night Football. But that's about as Monday Night Football as it gets. I'm kind of curious to see if Rodgers, can keep it up versus the Seahawks. Justin Fields versus the Bills. Like, I want to know if he can keep putting the points up. Like Garrett Wilson and Justin Fields, they look good. And Josh Allen's going to pour the points on him. We got to give a shout out to Keon Coleman. Guy went absolutely off. Looked like maybe you could say more than a top 25 wide receiver, but the guy looked good. He had 11 targets, 22% targets per route run, 12.8 ADOT. So, we'll see if that can continue. Even had a Dalton Kincaid touchdown, but Josh Allen, can do crazy things. I don't know if they're going to have to play from behind like that. Almost made Ray Davis a sleeper, Jordan. James Cook, a little bit of hamstring issue. Thought about throwing Ray Davis in there. We've been a real big Ray Davis pod, but that's kind of our games we've been looking forward to. We've done our start, sit, sleepers. Let's get into our pick'ems. We aren't going to dive too much into these, but Jordan, can you give us the totals from last week? Then we'll hop into these.
Yeah, so you and Seth both went 11-5. You guys are the winners. I went 9-7. That Minnesota Chicago game ended up being the difference in the week. So you guys both got a half a point on the sheet. So congratulations there.
Thanks.
Take it.
Three-way tie would have been brutal.
Yeah, it would have been not fun.
Yeah, we got to do I think if we do that, we just all get together we all bring our favorite coin we have, and we just go odd man out wins. I think that's the
Favorite
only way you do
coin.
that. Like that's a,
Yeah,
I
it would
think
be
that's
something
the,
like
the
that.
fairest way. Coin flipped out of the tie. That'd be classic. It's just like total 80s or whatever. All right. Okay, Jordan, you want to run through these and then we'll pick them?
Yeah, so we'll go Thursday night game, Washington at Green Bay. I was gonna pull up I have some old numbers here. It might be old, but Green Bay favored by 3.5, 48 total. I'm going Green Bay at home.
I'm going Green Bay as well. Even though we got the Dan
I'm
Quinn
going Commanders.
Commanders, got Dan Quinn and Micah Parsons, reunited for a second.
Okay, we got next game. First game on Sunday. Buffalo at New York. I got Buffalo favored by 6.5, 46 total. I'm gonna go Buffalo straight up here.
I'm going Bills.
Yeah.
We all got Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, next game. Chicago at Detroit that we talked about. Detroit favored by 6, 47 total. I'm going to go Detroit here at home. Little bounce back in a shootout.
Lions.
Detroit, Electric City. I'm going Chicago, man. Painted nails and all.
All right, we got Cleveland at Baltimore. Baltimore favored by 11. I think it's up to 12.5 at some spots. 45 total. I got Baltimore.
Ravens.
Man, we got the revenge game with Flacco, but I got to go Ravens.
Did you guys know I saw a video? It is his first game back in Baltimore.
I didn't realize that.
Played. Yeah, the schedule has not worked out. It's his first time going back to Baltimore. I found that very interesting.
Ravens
it's
fans
been a while,
can't boo that
obviously.
guy.
No, but
it's not a
crazy
Russell
it
Wilson
never worked out.
situation. You can't boo Flacco. Flacco, I think, would still be there if they wanted him.
Yeah. All right, next game. Jacksonville at Cincinnati. Cincinnati favored by 3.5, 49 total. I'm just gonna go Jaguars. Don't have a ton of faith in it, but I'm gonna go Jacksonville.
Bengals.
I'm going Bengals, but it would not shock me if the Jaguars win this game.
Next game, though, we got the Rams, the Titans. Rams favored by 5, 41.5 total.
I'm going Rams.
Yeah, Rams.
I'm gonna go.
Is this?
I'm gonna go Rams, but I wouldn't be surprised. I think Tennessee covers, but I'm gonna go Rams.
Do you think there's a chance this Titans defense is actually a lot better than people are giving it credit for? They went kind of crazy in free agency 2 years ago, and I think they still have most of those pieces. But
yeah, it's possible. I think it's kind of a weird spot for the Rams to go cross country. So, got New England at Miami. Miami favored by 1, 43 total. I'm going New England.
I'm going.
I may not pick Miami to win a game all year long. So,
I'm playing Achan, but what was it? Rex Ryan called him Nerd Boy coaching the team. Dolphins are falling apart.
We all took New England, right? Sorry, I didn't hear everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, next game. Giants at Dallas. Dallas favored by 5.5, 44.5 total. I am going to, you know what? I'm going to go Giants here.
Interesting.
I'm going Dallas.
Cowboys.
Sorry, Trent.
Dallas.
I don't mean to burn your Survivor, but
no, that would be. I got 3 of them, but I'm going Dallas on mine. I'm gonna let my wife pick whatever she does. Maybe I'll let you guys know what my wife picks.
What's the third one? What's the third one?
I don't know what I'm gonna do with the third one. I might just go Bills.
Yeah. All right, we got San Francisco at New Orleans. San Francisco favored by 3. It's 40.5 total. No Brock Purdy in this game. Going to be Mac Jones. I'm still going San Francisco.
Yeah, Niners.
Man, that makes you not want to play is it Tongs? What's the tight end's name? It doesn't even make you really want to play Pearsall.
Yeah, Christian
Mac
McCaffrey's
Jones
gonna have an insane game.
He did good with Jackson.
Brian Thomas was really good with Mac Jones. He kind of locks into a guy and feeds him. Are we all going San Fran?
Yeah, I'm going to go San Fran. This could be a huge if Purdy was playing, this would be a good survivor play. Just pick on the Saints.
Yeah.
I still think 49ers win. It's just you want to do that.
Seattle at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh favored by 3, 40 total. I'm going Pittsburgh at home.
Seahawks.
Trent, you said You said
I'm going
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. Yeah, I'm
Stupid.
They're a good team.
No.
All right, we got next game. We got Panthers at Cardinals. Cardinals favored by 6.5, 44 total. I'm gonna go Arizona.
Yeah,
Oh,
Cardinals.
I'm going Cardinals as well. I was not happy with what I saw out of Bryce Young last week.
Okay, we got Denver, Indianapolis. Denver favored by 1.5 on the road. We got a 42 total. I'm going Denver.
Man, Denver, Indianapolis.
Broncos.
I want to say the Colts are good, but the Dolphins just might be totally just awful. You know what I mean? But I'm going to go with I'll go Broncos. I got to go Broncos right now. Just throw me in the Colts. Throw me in the Colts. Let's
Oh,
live
you
a
want
little
Colts?
here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Battle of the horse
got-
versus the shoe.
That's true. This is a little horse battle. Yeah, we got DJ Cali at QB for the. It's not a good one. Sorry.
Okay. Next last few games here. We got Philadelphia at Kansas City. Philadelphia favored by 1 on the road, 46.5 total. This one's tough for me.
Eagles.
Everything tells me that it should be the Eagles, but
In
I feel
Arrowhead,
like the
I'm
line
gonna
would be
I'm gonna go
bigger. Chiefs without their guys, Trent.
I don't. Yeah, I'm gonna go Eagles. Chiefs did not. But like, do you think Mahomes starts out 0-2? Like, that's a big deal.
I'm gonna go KC just because at home, but I don't know. The line
I'm gonna
seems
go
weird to me. Like
Eagles.
I thought Eagles would be a bigger favorite, to be honest. So I don't know.
Yeah.
That seems weird. It must just be the respect they're giving to Mahomes at home. It's the only thing I can think of. Okay. Atlanta Sunday night game. Atlanta, Minnesota. We got Minnesota favored by 4 at home, 45 total. I'm going Minnesota.
I'm gonna go Vikings. Possibly no
Yeah.
Drake London. Man, Vikings
Vikings.
with back-to-back
Drake-
primetime games.
Drake London's playing, Trent.
He
Yeah,
is
he's
playing.
playing. Yeah.
I'm fan of life. I saw the deal there.
All right,
Okay.
next game. Monday night, first game on Monday night. Tampa Bay at Houston. Houston favored by 2.5, 43 total. This game
Bucks.
seems weird to me. You're on Bucks.
I think Houston makes this a game. I'm gonna go with Bucks though. Like man, is Stroud just like absolutely done now? Like it is they haven't helped them with the offensive line's horrible though. So I see it being close. I'm gonna go Bucks.
I'm going Tampa too. Last game of the week. Chargers at Raiders. Chargers favored by 3 on the road, 46.5 total. I'm going Chargers.
Chargers. Sorry,
Bolt
boys.
Bolt up Chargers. Yeah, we got all of our Raider listeners. Seth's basically an honorary Raider fan. I always forget that.
Yeah, I basically
guys.
gotta apologize to all my Raiders friends. But
yeah, they'll just leave us negative reviews like they always do whenever we go against them. No big deal. But yeah, guys, remember, give us a comment, give us a like, give us a sub. Don't be rude. Share the dudes. Helps us out, guys. We will be back next week. We will see you. I will be back on, hopefully Monday with a waiver wire episode. Oh, Saturday night or afternoon. We're not sure yet. We'll be going live. Maybe Seth jumps on that. Maybe Seth blesses us with his presence. We will see. We will see you guys on Saturday. And as always, take care.